The 2024 Toyota Tacoma, at long last, has the products to take on modernized moderate-size opponents, like the Portage Officer and Chevy Colorado. In addition to the fact that the all-new Taco has muscular bodywork, however, its inside, at long last, qualifies as contemporary, with an appealing, stylish, enhanced by fresh, advanced shows. The Tacoma arrangement is likewise more different than most other options, offering two taxi and bed designs. Power comes from a new turbocharged four-chamber with various result levels, yet the mightiest Tacoma is the 326 HP half-breed model, which we survey independently. Most models likewise exchange the old leaf spring back suspension for more refined curl springs, one more illustration of the Tacoma's recently discovered seriousness that procured it a spot on our 2024 Editor's Decision list. The Tacoma is completely upgraded for the 2024 model year, which denotes the medium-sized pickup truck's fourth era. Alongside acquiring a variation of the body-on-outline TNGA-F stage imparted to the as of late overhauled Toyota Tundra, the new Tacoma gets refreshed powertrains, more present-day highlights, and a more extensive choice of trim levels, which incorporates the recently presented Trail Hunter that is equipped towards individuals who appreciate overlanding. The cost of the 2024 Toyota Tacoma begins at $32,995 and goes up to $53,595, relying upon the trim and options. Toyota hasn't yet delivered evaluating subtleties on the 2024 Tacoma's main two trims. Be that as it may, the best esteem lies in the SR5 model, which accompanies the 278 HP variant of the Tacoma's turbocharged four-chamber motor, 17-inch aluminum wheels, vulnerable side-observing, haze lights, coordinated freight bed secure cinches, press-button start, and an auto-darkening back view mirror. A turbocharged 2.4-liter four-chamber controls each Tacoma. Notwithstanding, the motor comes in two structures and coordinates with either an 8-speed programmed transmission or a 6-speed manual. Back and four-wheel drive are both accessible. The base 228 HP Super 4 is just found in the passage level SR, and the remainder of the arrangement gets mightier. I-Force varieties with up to 278 strength and 317 pound-feet of force. While all Tacomas highlight a body-on-outline development, there are two different back suspensions. The SR, SR5 broadened taxi, and the TRD pre-runner are floated by old-school leaf springs, though the rest have curl springs. We got the opportunity to drive the non-hybrid Tacoma and left away intrigued with the truck's recently discovered on-street refinement, particularly models with the new loop springs, which offer an essentially superior ride over those with the more seasoned leaf spring equipment. At the point when we tried the Tacoma with the 278 HP 4, it dealt with a 7.00-second race to 60 mph. In and out of town, the powertrain gives above and beyond push, and parkway consolidating and passing assignments are finished absent a lot of pressure. Since the Tacoma makes its bread playing in the soil, the rough terrain-centered models accompany the equipment to go nearly everywhere. Toyota hasn't uncovered max tow appraisals and payload capacities with respect to all Tacoma setups, yet the program-prepared I-Force powertrain is evaluated to pull as much as 6,500 pounds, or take as much as 1,705 pounds of payload. The half-breed model, evaluated independently, is covered at a 6,000-pound tow rating, or it can convey a payload of as much as 1,709 pounds. Inside, the upgraded Tacoma takes large steps in both plan and bundling. The dashboard flaunts more pleasant materials alongside high-goal screens and customary switchgear. While most Tacos have a 7.0-inch computerized measure group, TRD rough terrain models and up include a bigger 12.3-inch all-computerized unit. A head-up show comes standard on the restricted or more, with those models likewise pressing warmed and cooled front seats. Each model additionally profits by a raised seating position with comparatively added headroom, meaning the driver no longer feels like they're perched on the floor. A more movable directing segment ought to make the truck more agreeable for additional individuals. Like its ancestor, the 2024 Tacoma is presented with broadened taxi, called Extra Cab, and Team Taxi, flagged down two-fold taxi, body styles. The Extra Cab just coordinates with a 6-foot freight bed, yet the two-fold taxi is presented with either the more extended box or a more limited 5-foot version. An 8.0-inch touchscreen is the standard infotainment framework on most Tacomas, yet a bigger 14.0-inch show is discretionary. The restricted model comes standard with the greater screen. Each model incorporates standard remote Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. A remote charging cushion is discretionary, similar to a JBL sound framework. The last option even incorporates a Bluetooth speaker that can be disconnected from the highest point of the dashboard. The 2024 Tacoma's inside looks more rough because of more made-right plan points and stout control handles. Pleasingly, it's likewise more agreeable to sit in. Previously, it could feel like you were sitting excessively near the Tacoma's floor. However, added seat and controlling wheel change range this year permits you to pick a more normal inclination seating position. Additionally remarkable is the enormous 14-inch Focus touchscreen that is fitted to some Tacoma trim levels. The big screen has simple two-squeeze fastens and functions admirably for showing route guides or outside camera views. You'll have a ton of extraordinary options for a fair-sized truck in 2024. The Chevrolet Colorado, GMC Ravine, Twins, and Portage Officer were overhauled for 2023 and are decisively moved along. Jeep's Warrior is likewise refreshed for 2024 and keeps on being a prepared material for customization. Rough terrain is by all accounts a concentration with each automaker as well, as you can now purchase all set stone crawlers right from the plant. Fit for doing all that from pulling parts to trucking around a family to vanquishing the hardest paths, the Toyota Tacoma has, for quite some time, been a handyman to truck purchasers. The most current Tacoma is a reasonable stride in front of more seasoned renditions. However, it can't match a few opponents in most extreme towing limit. There are generally a couple of lacks to the balanced Tacoma. The Tacoma's wide and to some degree level front seats offer solace for individuals of fluctuating sizes. The material seats in our test truck felt somewhat coarse, particularly contrasted, and the discretionary manufactured cowhide upholstery, yet ought to demonstrate bounty sturdy over the long haul. The back seats aren't particularly spacious, which is common of the medium-sized truck fragment, and taller travelers felt the seat pads were excessively low and short for longer drives. How the Tacoma rides will rely to a great extent upon which trim level you pick. Lower trim levels, like the SR, feel more like how you anticipate that an essential truck should ride: a piece, firm. Higher grades offer further developed suspension frameworks that assist with streamlining the ride. All Tacomas benefit from plainly stamped and simple to utilize environment control frameworks. The buttons and handles are adequately huge to be worked effectively while wearing gloves. Aside from the rough-looking inside styling, the middle touchscreen is the most prevailing aspect of the Tacoma. Standard is an 8-inch unit, yet our test truck had the overhauled 14-inch screen. It has simple to-utilize menus and a sharp goal that makes the discretionary and compass view camera framework look perfect. While numerous new vehicles are advancing toward virtual buttons, it's reviving to find such countless genuine fastens and switches in the Tacoma. Getting into the Tacoma is frightfully easy, yet the back seats are a piece harder to access because of the restricted measure of legroom. When in the driver's seat, the driver partakes in a reasonable plan of flexibility, particularly from the slant and extending guiding wheel, and there's a lot of headroom for tall drivers. Our test truck was furnished with the discretionary 14-inch touchscreen, and it basically rules the inside of the Tacoma. It appears a little awkward, stuck on the scramble. However, packs a ton of elements including remote cell phone network and supportive voice controls. The Tacoma is outfitted with a lot of USB-C charge ports and offers remote charging cushions as a choice. The close to vertical nature of the remote charge cushions, notwithstanding, raises a few worries about telephones spilling and losing their charging association. Standard on all Tacomas is an assortment of cutting-edge driver, helps that incorporate programmed crisis, slowing down, path takeoff ready, max throttle, versatile voyage control from there, the sky is the limit. We by and large prefer the accommodating activity of the driver, help frameworks and viewed them, as neither excessively mindful nor inclined to bogus alarms. The Tacoma focuses on capacity and usefulness. There are 2 freight bed sizes and an accessible 400-watt family-style electrical plug. Tacomas furnished with the half-and-half powertrain get a lift to 2,400 watts. Inside, the Tacoma offers many capacity choices. Front and back entryways are packed with cubbies, just like the mid-control area. There's a helpful plate over the glove box as well. In the event that you decide on the extra cab design, the region behind the front seats, however it's still just a two-seat truck, is loaded up with extra capacity for bigger things, making it very common sense for conveying things you'd prefer not to keep in the bed. In the 4-entryway two-fold taxi, the back seat backs crease down and the seat pads flip up to uncover extra capacity. Our specialist did something extraordinary with this cutting-edge Tacoma, said Dave Christ, Toyota Bunch VP and head supervisor. This truck offers clients a greater amount of everything, including innovation, style, and capacity, all with an alluring beginning MSRP. This is a portion Toyota has conveyed for a really long time, and we feel this next cycle of Tacoma just increases present expectations. For 2024, Tacoma is totally overhauled from the beginning. Based on the TNGA-F worldwide truck stage imparted to Tundra, Sequoia, and Land Cruiser, the all-new Tacoma was planned and designed explicitly for the U.S. market. Built from a high-strength boxed steel stepping stool outline, it adds various elements that rough terrain fans will cherish. One jump forward for the new-age Tacoma is a completely updated loop spring multi-interface back suspension. Accessible on most levels, this new suspension works on generally ride and taken care of for another Tacoma for astounding on or rough terrain habits. The new Tacoma likewise differentiates its powertrain decisions, with two choices that work on both power and proficiency. The turbocharged iPower 2.4-liter motor produces up to 278 drive and 317 lb of force. The accessible iPower Max Crossbreed is a gem, creating up to 326 pull and a gigantic 465 lb of force, the most force in the fair-size truck portion. The all-new 2024 iPower Tacomas are supposed to show up at Toyota showrooms in December of 2023, with iPower Max models expected to show up in the spring of 2024. Tacoma offers prevalent execution at a fantastic worth with a beginning producer's proposed retail value, MSRP, of just $31,500. MSRP for iPower Max models will be reported nearer to the at a bargain date. The 2024 Tacoma uses Toyota's TNGA-F worldwide truck stage imparted to the Tundra, Sequoia, and impending area cruiser. Like its brethren, high-strength steel with blanking and laser welds is utilized all through the skeleton to increment unbending nature. Aluminum has been integrated into the chest area for weight decrease. Outline cross members are likewise reinforced to build strength and convey Toyota Cellar accessible extras gear, for example, housetop tents, high lift jacks, and camp ice chests. Moreover, the rooftop is furnished with incorporated connection openings that permit the capacity to effortlessly add rooftop rack rails on all models. Scrupulousness is obvious all through the stage, yet the consolidation of high-lift jack point into the back outline end is a one-of-a-kind detail that exhibits the specialist's care and comprehension of the client's daring soul. Ride and dealing with qualities on Tacoma have been improved thanks to the new accessible multi-connect back loop suspension. This framework replaces the past age's leaf unveils to most models. Leaf springs stay accessible on SR, SR5 Extra Cab, and TRD pre-runner grades. Circle brakes are currently standard on Tacoma for expanded slowing down execution, and TRD models and higher grades are furnished with a much bigger front brake bundle. TRD models, or more furnished with iPower Max, incorporate a bigger back brake bundle too. An electronic leaving brake can be adjusted to draw in when the truck is placed in leave. This component likewise takes into consideration low-speed radar journey control and a brake hold capability. To give further developed controlling feel and work with the joining of extra well-being and comfort highlights, Tacoma will presently have electric power directing.